Welcome. We're going to be doing a 45-minute yoga class today. And so today we're going to be doing a bunch of my favorite poses and incorporating those throughout class. So the only equipment that we are going to need today is just one block. And if you don't have a block, you can use anything like about this height. We're just going to use it for some balancing. You can use like a shoebox, or if you have like a really sturdy water bottle with a flat lid, or a plastic bin, low stool, and then that we're just going to put up at the front of our mat. I'm going to check in and see who all is joining us. Wonderful. All right. And so as you're watching this, if you're watching later or if you're watching right now, go ahead and let us know in the comments if this is potentially your first yoga class, or if you've been doing yoga for a while, let us know how many years that you've been practicing. So think way back to that first yoga class you ever did and how long ago that was. All right, so today we are going to start in child's pose. So we're going to take knees nice and wide and then just settle in here, sitting back towards your heels and reaching arms out long. Start by checking in on the breath, and as you rest here, feel your tummy expand into your legs with each inhale. Deep breath in, feeling a nice stretch in your shoulders here, and just starting to bring some stillness to your body. Now, take both of your hands all the way over to your right. You can even reach all the way off your mat and stack your left hand on top of your right hand, and we're going to add a side stretch to this child's pose. And when you're ready, walk those hands back to the middle and then all the way over to the left side and stack your left hand on top of your right hand this time. Still breathing into your tummy. Walk your hands back to the middle and then bring them back. We're going to rise up into a table position, and then from here, cat-cow. So starting with cow, dropping your tummy, looking forward, and then cat pose, rounding your back, looking in towards your belly button. Look forward, tummy down. And rounding in. On this next cow pose, so dropping the tummy, think about also dropping your chest towards the ground and feeling your shoulder blades come back and together towards each other. Rounding into cat. Next time again in cow, feel that dropping also happen in the upper back. So a lot of times we can get a really good dropping like curve in low back, but then upper back is kind of left alone. So we want to make sure that the whole spine is getting a stretch here. And then rounding in. And then coming back to the middle, and now we're going to walk hands out in front of you and then lower your head down to the mat for puppy pose. So booty is over your knees here, arms are out long. Feeling a nice stretch in your upper back and kind of your armpit area. Either one of those is great. Good. And then we're going to come up out of that and get ready for our first down dog. So for that, what we're going to do is from this hands and knees position, just walk your hands forward like one hand width, and then tuck your toes under, bend your knees, and lift your booty towards the ceiling into down dog. We are going to lift this right leg up towards the ceiling. This is three-legged dog. And then really strong through shoulders here as we step our right leg all the way up between our hands. Totally okay if you need to kind of take that in multiple steps or use your arm to help. And then from here, plant the left hand on the ground and reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. Now with this reach, I also want you to think about your bottom rib cage and think about bringing that towards the wall that you're facing. So it's not just the upper arm that's reaching, but it's the whole rib cage that's opening up to the side here. And set that hand back down, step your right leg back, and then we're going to lower down to the tummy. Good. And then up into a mini cobra. So shoulders squeeze, and slowly lower back to your tummy. And then we're going to transition back to down dog. And we'll get the other side. This time, so super strong through shoulders. Feel like you're pushing the ground away and lifting your torso towards the ceiling. And then lift your left leg up and then step that one through. Good. All right, so now we're planting our right hand and then lifting our left arm up towards the ceiling. This time thinking about bringing right rib cage towards the wall to open up that chest and upper back. Good. Set that hand back down, and we're going to step back to plank. And so now, as you lower down, try and do this slowly. So elbows in towards the sides, and then squeezing shoulder blades down and back. And think about keeping a long neck here. Lower back down. Good. And then, so here, when I transition from like laying on my stomach to down dog, I use my arms, but also think about engaging your tummy. So sometimes when we get out of this, it's just kind of we use momentum. But try going from on your tummy to that tabletop position, but really turn on your tummy muscles and push through your arms and push through your knees and turn on your leg muscles and exhale as you go. So then with that, when we're using our tummy muscles better, we get less of kind of like a slinky effect through our spine, and we're more strong with that. Okay, so back into down dog again. So from this tabletop position, stepping hands forward, and then tucking toes, lifting up, and then pedal out your heels here. So reaching one heel at a time towards the ground, bending one knee at a time. Feel a nice stretch here. Some people have a love-hate relationship with down dog, and I totally get that. So I try throughout the classes to talk about different little tweaks that you can modify to get better engagement here to make it more of a love and less of a hate. All right, look forward, and then we're gonna walk your feet all the way up to the front, and then reach your arms all the way up into mountain. And then for cactus, we're gonna goal post your arms out by your sides, and then gentle back bend here, and then reach up towards the ceiling. And now we're gonna take a nice side stretch. So grab your left wrist with your right hand, and we're gonna reach all the way over towards your right side. So as far as you feel like you can comfortably go, feel really grounded down through both of your feet. So feeling your toes, the balls of your feet and your heels all grounded into the ground to hold you steady as you reach your arms over to the right side. This should feel like a nice stretch, like throughout your rib cage, throughout maybe the left side of your low back. And then reach back up towards the middle, and then you can give your arms a break for a second, and then reach back up and grab your right wrist with your left hand and reach over towards the left. Feet staying grounded. Notice if you tend to shift your weight towards one part of the foot, like if all of your weight is in your heels or if your toes are gripping the ground really hard, and try and have it be just an even, gentle stance here. Good. Come on back up to the middle. And now we are going to take a forward fold, so folding down, and then you can bring your feet a little wider apart here. And then as we're just kind of dangling, grab your opposite elbows. Maybe add a sway side to side. Think about letting your head and neck go in this position. So see if you're here, but still trying to hold your head up, and then give your head a shake side to side like you're saying no, and then give it a yes. And then kind of take your head side to side like you're touching your ear to your upper arm. You can alternate bending one knee at a time. Good. And then we're going to lower down into Malasana or garland pose. So this is a deep spot, so if you have your block, it's optional to put that under your bum here so that this can be a supported pose, but only go as deep as your body allows you to. If this does not feel good on your knees, you definitely don't have to go all the way down. You could even sub like chair pose for this. But in this pose, think about a nice lifted chest. My elbows are at the insides of my knees, just giving a gentle press out, just enough to feel a stretch, not forcing them out. Toes are turned out, chest lifted, and then think about bringing your shoulders back, and then think about where the position of your head is here. So instead of letting your head be way in front of your shoulders, bring it back in line. It kind of feels like you're standing against a wall and standing up super straight. And hands in prayer position here. So this should just feel like a nice stretch on those inner thigh muscles. Again, here you can kind of shift weight side to side from one foot to the other. Or you can hold it right in the middle. Wonderful. So now we're going to sit down. So kind of lower yourself down onto your bum. And we're going to take a seated figure four stretch. So go ahead and bring your right knee or right ankle to cross over your left knee. And then depending on how much of a stretch you feel here, if you want to feel more, you can walk your hands closer to your body. And if you feel enough, you can be in more of a like reclined kind of beach chair position here. Feeling a nice stretch on the right side. And you can take a little side to side movement here as well. If this does not feel great on your wrists, you can always do just a same thing but laying down on your back. Good, and then we're going to swap sides. So plant that right foot down, and then left ankle crosses over right knee. Notice kind of side to side. What do you feel? Is one side pretty tight compared to the other one? Maybe this side is a lot looser. We are going to flip it around and come back to that tabletop position. And then from here, we're going to try something that we haven't done yet in these classes, so it might be new to some of you, but it's called dolphin pose. And for dolphin pose, we're going to be using our forearms. It's kind of like down dog, but on your forearms. So from here, you're going to lower down, and what you can do here is grab, like, my left hand is like in a fist, and then my right hand is grabbing it. And then shoulders are above elbows, and hips are above knees. And then from here, you're going to tuck your toes under, and then lift your booty up towards the ceiling. So here, thinking about super strong through your shoulders, you want to feel like you're lifting your shoulders away from the ground instead of letting all of your weight fall into them. And then we'll do a few rounds of this. So that's dolphin. We're going to let that go, and then we're going to find it again and do some leg lifts in it. So think about really strong shoulders and then feeling that stretch on the back of your legs. So we're going to get back into that again. So holding opposite hand, and then knees under hips, tuck toes under, and then before you even lift your knees and lift your booty back, feel a lift between your shoulder blades. So the difference between letting your chest sink towards the ground in this position and having a lift away from the ground, like you're trying to lift your chest and face away from the mat, and then holding that engagement, tuck toes under, lift your booty up and back. Good. So now holding this, lift right leg up towards the ceiling, and just play around with it. Re-engage that shoulder muscles, and then lift left side. Good. So if those leg lifts didn't feel good, you definitely do not have to do those, but we'll come on out of that. Something new, something different that's a nice challenge for the shoulders. Okay, now we are going to go back into down dog. Starting from this hands and knees position, hands walking forward, tuck your toes, and lift up. And after doing dolphin, down dog always feels way easier than it did before, which is nice. All right, from here, lift your right leg towards the ceiling. Strong through that left leg as you step your right leg forward between your hands. And then come on up into warrior one. So turning your left foot out to the side, front knee over the ankle, hands towards the ceiling. And then turn those back toes in for crescent, feeling a nice stretch on the front of the left hip here. If you don't feel that stretch, really engage your left glutes. And then hands back down around your foot, and then stepping back into down dog. We're going to do that again on the other side. This time, strong through your right leg as you lift your left leg towards the ceiling. Step that all the way through between your hands. Good. Come on up, turn those right toes out at like a 45-degree angle. Hands out towards the ceiling for warrior one. Good. Turn those back toes in, and then right glutes turn on to feel a nice stretch on the front of your right hip. In this, as you work on getting the stretch in your right hip, be mindful that you're not bending backwards a ton in your back as you reach up. Good. And then hands back around the foot, stepping back, and back into down dog. Now we're going to do that same pattern, but we're going to add on. So this is where the block is going to come in handy. So where you want that is just right in front of the front of your mat. So take your block and set that up there. It'll be ready for us, kind of in the middle. You want it on its highest setting. So lowest setting, medium setting, highest setting. And then pop that up at the front of your mat. All right. Back up into down dog whenever you are ready. All right. Starting with our right leg, reach that right leg up towards the ceiling and step it through, knee close to the chest there to help you have more room. And then coming up into warrior one. Left foot turning in for crescent. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go into warrior three. And so bring your hands to your heart center if you would like to. This will give you some more stability. And shift your weight towards your right foot. So now we're going to kind of bend through this right leg and then lift our back leg up. Keep it straight and just think of your body as like a teeter-totter. So if your chest moves forward, you want your back leg to move up, and vice versa. So right leg is super strong. Really turn your butt muscles on your standing leg as you let your chest come forward and your left leg go back. It does not matter if you're totally horizontal here. It's just that we're working those muscles on the right side. Good. So back of the left leg is really reaching towards the ceiling. And then open up, reach your right hand down for the block, and open up your left arm towards the ceiling. So here, it's okay if you fall out of it or if you need to grab the wall. But the block is there for, you don't want to be putting all of your weight in it, but some of your weight. So as we do this warrior three both sides, it's totally okay to kind of come out of it and then go back into it as you kind of regain your balance. But the block is there for just light support to help you stay balanced. You want to think like reaching your left arm towards the ceiling to help you stay light in this pose. And then when you're ready or when you're done with that, then we're going to meet back in down dog again and get the other side. All right, so this time we'll be reaching left foot towards the ceiling and stepping that through between your hands. Good. Come on up into warrior one. Think about front knee over front ankle, not letting that fall in. And then turn your back toes forward into crescent. And then we know what's coming this time. So hands together at your heart center. And then really ground through that front leg. And when you're ready, lift your right leg, up towards the ceiling, straight leg, as your upper body comes forward. You can keep your hands at your heart center. You can also reach your arms towards the wall in front of you. Left side of the butt is working really hard here to keep you strong and stable. So if you feel that, regardless of what it looks like, you're doing great. And it's okay, with any poses like this, to come into and out of it as you work on it. So now kind of find your warrior three again, whatever that may look like, and then get your block ready. So reaching your left hand down for it, and then opening your right arm up towards the ceiling. Good. Super strong through your left leg. Beautiful. Okay. All right, we're going to take a child's pose. So settle on down. Take a rest here. Knees together. Arms forward or hands folded, resting under your forehead. Just take a breather here. Breathe into your tummy. Feel also a nice stretch on the fronts of your shins. When we do all that balance work, that's a lot of work on all the muscles in your leg, and it wakes up muscles that have been on vacation or just not doing much if we've been doing the same things lately. Great. All right. So now we are going to meet in a forward fold. So come on up to the front of your mat, reaching down towards the ground. Think about how your neck feels now compared to how it felt in the first forward fold. And then what we're going to do is we are going to plant your left hand down on the ground. You're going to bend your left knee and then reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Feel a nice stretch on your right side, stretch in your back, and then hands back down to the ground, and then open up the left arm towards the ceiling, straightening your left leg. Right knee is bent. Good, hands back down on the ground, and then now you're going to take your hands, we're going to stay in this fold, and you're going to do back of the hands towards the ground and put your hands under your feet. So you're stepping on your palms and your toes are kind of right at your wrist creases. So knees can be bent here if you can't reach the ground with your knees straight. And just let your head and neck relax here. This should feel good, so if you don't like it or if it hurts your hands, go ahead and just do a regular forward fold. stretch for our wrists there. Come on out of that. And then now we are going to do what's called halfway splits. So, or standing splits. It does not look like standing splits. So don't feel like you have to be able to do the splits to do this, or it's not going to look like that. So just kind of release the name of this pose. But you're going to put your hands down on the ground, and then you're going to reach your right leg up towards the ceiling while your left leg stays down. And then from there, you're going to step your right leg out to the side really wide, and we're going to end up in this wide-legged forward fold. So reach legs out, not the total width of your mat, but wider than most poses. And from here, put your palms down in front of you and kind of spider tip your fingers as you do a little stretch up towards the front as you straighten and flatten your back. And then round in. And feel a nice stretch in the back of your legs. So you can kind of alternate bending and straightening one leg at a time. And then go ahead and walk your hands over towards your right ankle, and you can grab your right foot with your right hand. And then walk your hands over to your left side, grab your left foot with your left hand. Good, all right, so now what we're gonna do is kind of pivot back towards the front of the mat, and then step your feet back together, and then we're gonna do that same standing splits with the left leg going up. And then what you guys are gonna do is after that, you're gonna step your left leg back. So hands on the ground down through that right leg, and then reach that left heel up towards the ceiling. So what is the goal of this if it's not doing the splits? The goal is being really strong through your right leg, so keeping that leg nice and strong, and then just reaching your left heel towards the ceiling, keeping your left leg straight, and using your hands here for support. So reach that left leg up, and then step that left leg back so that you're in a wide forward fold again. And then from there, go ahead and see if you can reach for your big toe on each leg. And then we're just going to hang out here. So to get a little deeper stretch, you can bend your elbows, and you can feel a little more in your hamstrings. See how you feel if you kind of shift the weight in your feet. Is it mostly in your heels? And can you shift it so that it's balanced between the balls of your feet and your heels? And then try grabbing your opposite elbows. How does that feel? Good, all right. We're gonna come on out of that. And then next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find a seat here. So sit down, we're gonna twist. Start by bending your right leg like you're about to sit cross-legged, and then cross your left ankle over so it's on the outside of your right knee, and then kind of give your legs a hug as you reach around to your left, or you look over your left shoulder. And as you breathe here, just see with each breath on your exhale if you can melt more into the pose. So no specific end goal of where we want you to be looking here, but just seeing where you can release and get a little more range. Wonderful. We're going to switch sides. So left leg is bent and on the mat, and right knee is up, crossing left ankle over the outside of the right knee, or left knee. And then reaching to hug our left arm around our legs as you open up to the right. Awesome. All right, then we're gonna kind of unwind from that and then lay down on our back. If you have your block, go ahead and grab it for this, but it is not absolutely a must-have, but if you have it, we'll use it. So we're gonna start with some bridges. So go ahead and bend your knees up towards the ceiling, feet are flat. And then you're going to pop this block just between your knees. This is just going to help everything stay in the right place as we do this. So arms are down by your sides, and then take a breath in, and on your exhale, lift your booty up towards the ceiling, squeeze your buns. We're going to hold this for a moment, and then slowly lower. We're going to do 3 of these here. So breathing in to prepare, exhale, lift your buns, squeeze them at the top. And we're not necessarily squeezing that block, but just holding it in place. That helps our knees not flop out to the side. And then slowly lower. Good, and we're going to do 1 more of those. Inhale, exhale, lift up, holding here, good, and then slowly lowering. I'm going to take that block out of the way, we're done with that, and then bring your knees or feet wide, the whole width of the mat, or even wider if that feels good. And we're going to take some windshield wipers, so letting your knees fall out to the right, back to the middle, let knees fall to the left. So not much movement in our upper back here, but getting some rotation for our lower back. Knees up, knees to the right. Knees up, back to the left. If it feels better to you to move more fluidly through this than holding, that's okay. It's good to listen to your body. Good. All right, so next we're going to bring the soles of our feet together and then let our knees rest out to the side for a stretch and butterfly. Bring your hands to your tummy here and reconnect with the breath. Sending that air to your tummy if it's in your chest. And start to slow it down. Good. Wonderful. We're gonna gently use your hands to help bring your knees back together. And then we're gonna do a twist here. So first, letting your knees fall to your right, and then left arm. Arms can be in that goalpost position, and optional to turn your head to the left here. Still breathing into your tummy. Knees back to the middle, and then let your knees, you can kind of shift your hips to the right, let your knees fall to the left, and then turn your head to the right. Wonderful. All right, bring your knees back up, and then we're just gonna get cozy for Shavasana. So legs out straight, or knees bent if that feels better as you're laying here. And then your arms can rest at your sides with your palms up. They can also rest on your tummy. And then just close your eyes here, and I'll bring you out in a few minutes. We're gonna get some rest, get some breath, okay? So focus on your breath. And start to slow that inhale and exhale to a 4 count. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. And repeat that as you rest here. Once that 4 count starts to feel easy, go ahead, and if you are ready and if it feels good, increase that to a 6 count. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Don't have to open your eyes yet. Roll your ankles. Move those wrists. And when you're ready, bend your left leg and push through your foot as you roll to your right side. And then use those arms as you come up to a comfortable seat. Thank you for joining me today. We will be back next Tuesday and many of the other next Tuesdays after that. I hope you enjoyed today's class, and remember that we still have the wonderful opportunity to do a free week trial of Breathe at Home. So Breathe at Home is our online platform where we have lots of yoga videos, cardio videos, exercise like strengthening videos, and videos on how to breathe into your pelvic floor, how to do core exercises postpartum. So definitely check that out. It's a great way to get a kind of a sneak peek and get to see all the good content on there. I hope you liked today's class, and I'll see you next week.